Hey guys, I'm going to show you really quickly how to utilize functions in Google Sheets to calculate both your mean and your standard deviation. So I've worked up this simple example. This is just data that I dumped in for side A of the choice chamber, and then data for side B of the choice chamber. I didn't add in the seconds, the 30-second intervals that you took data on, but I just put some data in there so that you could see here is side A versus side B. So you would open up Google Sheets and you would go ahead and put in your side A and side B data. And then come down to the end, wherever your data ends. I like to give a row of space between the actual data and the calculations. And then I also like to label over here so that I know what these calculations are getting ready to be. So anytime we use the functions, the actual calculation feature of Sheets, you have to prompt the program to calculate. And so prompting is always entering the equal sign. And you will see here that it actually is already predicting what do I want to do. And so averaging or calculating a mean is a really common feature. So we see that first. But if you didn't see this pop up, because I have it, I could go ahead and click on that and it would work. But I'm going to show you, if you didn't see that pop up, what you could continue to do. So equal, and then you're going to need to add a parentheses. And then we're going to come up here to this funny looking letter. And I'm going to click the drop down, and there is the average button. So I'm going to click average and notice what it drops here into my box. So with this formula dropped in, I now need to select what values need to be averaged. So I'm going to click and drag. I'm going to click on my first data point here, and I'm going to drag it all the way down, release the button, and then I'm going to click the tab. Don't click enter, don't click down, hit tab, and it will work. So the average for side A is 7. I'm going to do it over here again. There's my equal sign. Actually, I don't even know that I have to put a parentheses in since I'm coming up here to function. So let me try it. Average, and then click and drag the range that I want to be averaged, tab. So the average of side B is 3. So that's how I'm going to put in the average or the mean calculation. Now, standard deviation, we're going to do the same process, but we have to just kind of hunt for the standard deviation formula. So equals again, and then I'm going to come up here to my functions, and it's not listed because it's not like a typical function. So I'm going to need to go to all, and this now shows me every single formula that could be put in to Google Sheets. And so I'm going to start scrolling down until I find the S's for standard deviation. So I'm scrolling, almost there. And notice there is standard deviation, and then there's standard deviation .p, .s, VA, VP. We just want the basic. The very first one, standard deviation. And notice it is dropped in that formula. Now again, select the data range. I do not want to include the mean. I just want the raw data. Once I have it selected, tab. So my error bars would be based off of the standard deviation calculation here. So side A has each standard deviation is a value of 2. Side B, we're going to do it again over here on this data. So equals, and then all, and I don't even have to scroll. It left off right where I was. So standard deviation again. Select, click and drag, select my value range. Tab, there we go. Ooh, this is also a standard deviation of 2. That's interesting. So long story short, once you've collected your isopod data, one of the steps of your document that you have to turn in asks you to run some calculations. Now, usually I provide you the standard deviation of a shared data set, But since you're doing this on your own and you're collecting your own data or you're collecting it in small groups, you will have to calculate that standard deviation by using Google Sheets. And it's just as easy as what I showed you. If you have questions, for sure, let me know, but I think that you will get it.